have two grandsons, and you know, I got them going fishing when they were young. And in the bay, for the most part, trout fishing, maybe a little redfish or whatever. But a lot of times it was difficult to get them to catch fish. You know, they would get strikes and stuff like that because we're using bait. But a lot of times it was hard for them to set the hook and reel the fish in or whatever. Right. So, you know, I found using a popping cork was pretty good, doing it with a fly rather than anything else on the popping cork.
I use a calf tail when I'm tying my bonefish clousers, because I'm tying them on a size 8 or size 6 hook, and the dumbbell eyes that I'm using are real small. I mean, real small. I might even use a bead chain eye for those. And you find that works fine, you know, you're using that for trout and whatever else.
Under Cajun Thunder.
Under Cajun Thunder. I've never used it under Cajun Thunder. I've used it under those clousers, those Seminole clousers over there. I've used them under one of those clear bubbles, and it works very good.
I'm going to wrap a base wrap all the way down the shank of the hook. What that's going to do is help secure the materials better to the hook, make the fly more durable. All right, so I'm going to go right to the bend of the hook where the bend starts. And what I'm going to use for material, and the only material I use in this fly, is a piece of rabbit fur that's cut into about a 1/16 of an inch wide strip. All right, and what we're going to do is I'm going to tie in a little piece for the tail. And you don't really need a tail for this. I'm just going to put a short one in there. It makes the fly look a little bit bigger in the water. All right, and this stuff, you can see what it's doing in the wind here. This stuff really breathes in the water. All right, it creates a lot of movement, and it looks just like a piece of cut up bait fish. All right, and I'm using this natural grizzly color, what they call it. It's grays, whites, cream, basically with the same colors as a cut up minnow would be. So it looks perfectly natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a little strip of this, probably about 1.25 inches long for a tail. That's all I'm going to use. I'm going to add a little bit movement to it, and I'm going to trim it to a point. All right, so it's got a lot of movement to it right there. Now when I tie this in, I actually cut a little bit of that fur off to give me a clean leather strip right there, so I can wrap it into the hook a little bit better. I'm just going to place it right on top of the hook. I'm kind of folding it over so it stays upright, and I'm going to just wrap that in. Now it doesn't go anywhere. It's about as long as the fly is too. That's about as long as you need the tail to be on this. All right. All right. Then I'm going to take that same strip, okay, and with the fur going back, I'm actually going to cut away a little bit of the fur on top of it again. Give me a clean leather strip. Just get rid of that, and I'm going to tie that in. And you notice it's kind of at an angle. All right. Now that's wrapped in. A lot of times what I'll do, if I want to make this fly a little bit more durable, I'll add some head cement to this wrap. And then I'm going to come all the way forward. You notice where this little eye is tied in is not right up to the eye of the hook. It's a little behind it. All right, gives me a little place to wrap onto and secure this. And all I'm going to do is take this strip and wrap it around. And while I'm wrapping it around, I'm going to actually kind of comb with my fingers that fur back. I'm going to slightly overwrap that. Now when I'm doing this on my vise, which is a stationary vise, I have to actually wrap it around there. Rob has on a rotary vise, he can actually just turn the vise and hold the fur steady. Okay, which I do have some rotary vices too. I just happened to bring this one today. I really like this vise. I'm going to get it right behind the eye, and then I'm actually going to come in front of that eye with a couple wraps. Again, combing this back. Okay, the eyes, the little brass eyes are tied in there just for weight. They're not to emulate an eye of a fish or anything. This is actually in there for weight. So they actually get covered up. So then I just take a few wraps and secure this rabbit fur in. Okay, and I'm combing it back like I'm doing like that. I'm going to just take my scissors, trim this away. Get rid of that, and I'm going to comb this back and tie this off. Secure that. Wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. Secure it nice and tight. Then I'm going to use a whip finisher and create a finish on this. A knot. I'm actually going to tie a knot. I'm going to do a couple half hitches. Okay. I'm going to do 3 just to kind of secure it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip finish it, which means I'm going to wrap the thread around it and then pull the thread back from underneath it. All right, using the same tool. I'm wrapping over it, wrapping over it. Let go of it. Now it's wrapped under itself. Trim my thread away. And we're done. Now in the water, that looks like a piece of cut bait. You put that right in your chum slick, and fish are going to get it. They're gonna just come up, pick up them pieces of chum, and this is just another piece of chum to them. And they're going to just swallow it right in. That's how we catch snapper on a fly rod. Chum them to the surface and drop this in with that chum. It's ready to go.